is going on, guys? So, kind of a late start to the day. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get the water methanol sprayer installed on the car. I did go ahead and make some revisions to the harness itself. And I don't know where... Oh, yeah, I left them here. So, we've got a kind of splitter harness here. So one half is going to go to the pump when it's getting power. And then another half is going to go to, I have an LED wired up. So we can have an indicator light when it goes on in the car. So when the system is actually on, the LED will be illuminated, obviously, and show me that the system is actually working. And kind of just a peace of mind thing for the end user. A lot of people do that, so it'll show them when the system is on, when it is armed or whatever, or actually running. So yeah, it'll be nice. But yeah, anyway, kind of a late start. It is already 6:40. The sun goes down about like 7:30. So we got to kind of rush through this. I did already install, so the tank is sitting back here. So right next to the intake of the blower motor here, we have a little bracket here. I went ahead and put some riv nuts in the actual like sheet metal of this false firewall here, and we just have a bracket that holds the tank itself. We're gonna make a little stabilizer piece that goes from this plastic inlet here to this top piece here, so it really doesn't have that flex anymore, and I think we should be good. So I think one of the main things is getting the wires into the cabin of the car. I decided I'm just going to run them through where the ECU sits. So I'm going to vacuum all this stuff out, get all these leaves and crap out of here, pull the cover up, and then I'll just run the two wires down through past where the ECU goes, and then they'll come out right up here through that little area there, and then we can go ahead. We're going to hook up power to this guy right back here. So as you can see, we've got our little power bank here. There's an empty one right there. So we're just going to put a nut on it and put the power cable to that, and then we will have our ground. We can run it really anywhere we wanted. We can just ground it to the chassis of the car. But yeah, I think hardest part is definitely going to be putting the wires through into the cabin for the LED, but it still shouldn't be that hard. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get that stuff all cleaned up and get this thing in here. Alright, so that cover comes off. There is the ECU right there. And we've got a little bit of room. We can just fish a wire straight through down there and get it into the cabin. So when I had to pull the Viper alarm system, whoever installed the Viper alarm system, there was a cut put in the boot that goes to like the ECU compartment. So I just fed the wire through there, and then now I've got the end of that wire attached to some aluminum welding wire, and we're just going to take a spot right up here, right on the edge of the ECU, and we're just going to feed it down in there, and it is going somewhere. So we'll go ahead and go inside the car and pull it in, and hopefully, yep, so as I suspected, that is sitting right there. So we can just pull this the rest of the way in. There's our wire right there. So now we've got a wire ran into the cabin cleanly. Shout out to Audi for making this S4 as easy as it can be. I know with the Jetta it was like impossible to run a wire in there. So now we've got nice little area to run wires just straight into the cabin. There's like a huge gap. We can run a ton of wires. I'll end up running my boost gauge through there when I get it as well. But yeah, so now that is in, we can put the cover back on. We are good there, and then we'll go ahead and just start wiring the rest of it up. I might not film as much because it is starting to get darker and darker, and I kind of want to get this thing done, but definitely I will go over what I'm doing with you guys, but I might not be filming totally in depth, so you guys probably won't be missing too much. So yeah. Alright guys, so we have a quick update for you. So I went ahead and cut this guy here, which is the grate for the inlet of the air condition slash, or just the blower motor, I guess I should say, and fed in the switch. So now it's just sitting on this grate. It's nice and tight in there. Drilled a hole at the bottom of this guy here as well, so we can feed the wires through and down into this tray here. We went ahead and actually just grounded the system right here. There's a little stud that comes out of the body, and just cleaned off the paint on there, grounded it right there. It is secure. And then we've got power run to this box here. So as you guys can see, we've got power. The switch is illuminated when it's off, not illuminated obviously. Like I showed you, we have the tank there as well. We also have the Hobbs switch feeding into that system, or that little air box right here as well. So I'll just feed the boost reference line in through this grate, and it'll just connect up with the Hobbs switch that sits right there, keeps everything out of the way. I'm going to zip tie everything up so it's not sitting in the bottom of the tray, so it doesn't have a chance to actually like short out or sit in like a puddle of water. I'm not too sure how this car does in terms of like draining. I think it runs down and then just kind of drains down right underneath there, but I'm not 100% sure how it works. So we don't want any chance of this system like shorting out. I don't have the inline fuse yet. It'll go right there on that power wire when I do get it. But yeah, everything is basically ran. Just got to clean everything up. The boost reference line is right here. For now it just has a screw in it. I do have to get a barb and connect another piece of hose. I will run it through this port right here, and that is where the outlet of the water sprayer will be, and then the nozzle will just sit right there and spray towards the throttle body obviously. But yeah, we're coming along. It's a little bit slower than I thought it would be. It's already dark out, as you guys can see, so definitely want to wrap it up soon, but we'll see how much farther I can get, and if I can actually get the whole thing installed, we'll be looking good. So let's see. Alright guys, so we are back. It is day 2, as you can tell. Now, light out, but we are back under the hood of the car. So where I left off last night, we had everything installed and ready to go basically. So as you guys can see, we've got power going to the system there. We've got our air reference here to our Hobbs switch. We've got our tank here. We've got basically everything installed. I went ahead and actually drove the car home with it on, and I tried to make the system come on, and it's set at like 10 or 11 psi. I couldn't get it to come on. With some decently hard driving, I could not get the system to actually come on, so I'm not sure if the car just isn't making as much boost as I thought it would be. I think it would be making like 10 psi fairly early. We have our little indicator light right here. I did have a single LED wired up, but it actually didn't work. This one works just fine, and this one's just attached to that green and black wire that I ran through past the ECU, and then it's just zip tied here for the time being. I still have to put the dash pieces back on. I've been super lazy with that, but we got to do it. Got to button this car back up and get everything back together. But anyway, so yeah, we've got System is basically, I think it's like 90% done. I just have to clean everything up, and then I'm going to adjust the Hobbs switch underneath here and lower the pressure that it takes to actually get the system to come on, because even with me foot to the floor at like a stoplight, I couldn't get the system to even come on. So that tells me maybe I should lower it and maybe put it closer to like 5 psi with how I want it to come on. I was thinking about it, and I was kind of intrigued on just going basically as loose as I can, so as low of a pressure as I can, and you can always drive the car without getting into boost, and then you can drive the car hard and get it into boost fairly easily. It's good to have like a minimum boost requirement, I guess, but with this car, I feel like with the amount that I'm spraying in, I'm just going to set it really, really low, maybe like 3-4 psi, and then it's basically just at the mercy of my foot, whether the system comes on or doesn't. So I think that'll just make it suited for me a little bit better. I really don't like ripping on this car too hard because it's so loud. Draws a lot of attention, but yeah, I definitely want to have the sprayer active and flowing into the intake when I'm driving it. So yeah, let's just get this thing lowered. Alright, went ahead and pulled the sensor off of this little air boot here, so it is loose. We rehooked it up, and then what we can go ahead and do to test, we can just go ahead and pull off the line that we are using for the boost reference here, and we'll just hook it up to the bike pump as well. So now we're about 4 psi. That is the little light underneath the dash. Not too bright, not that dim, so at night you can definitely see it. During the daytime, definitely not, but you can just trust that the system is working based on what you see at night. Yeah, so that is basic system there, just a DIY cheap system, and I think it should work. So that is going to be it for the install video of this system. We will do a separate video of me driving the car with it, and anything that I notice or anything like that. I don't think it's going to give me any extra power or anything, but lower IETs, definitely a plus with any car. I don't care what you say, but spraying so much water in the intake is not the best thing for the engine. It can help with lowering IETs, but water does not burn, and you guys shouldn't be just like dumping crazy amounts of water in. You'll be actually losing performance with your car if you meet that maximum threshold with water in the intake going into your combustion chamber. So yeah, it can cool our intercooler bricks on each side and make them a little bit more efficient and make the engine run a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, and just help in that way. So that is why I did this with this car, and you can always go with like a serious water meth system and actually spray actual tune for the car to get an extra, I don't know, like 50-60 wheel horsepower, and have a water methanol system like that is spraying a significant amount of water and methanol or ethanol, and it's a supplemental fuel to make the car make more power with added boost and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for the install video. System is in the car. As you guys saw, it does work. Everything is working. Throughout the next few days, we're going to spend some time actually like fine-tuning it. We'll take it for a drive, see how it works, and yeah, pretty excited. The car's been running really good. I'm super happy with it. Really happy to have this thing. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.